so much in them anymore. Because now, according to one expert, Vasilis Kanatis, there are 13 signs of the zodiac, and he joins me on the air this morning. Give me a little insight into this. Vasilis, how you doing this morning, sir?
Hello, John. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing okay. So, let me ask you about this. I mentioned this at the very beginning. I was a Scorpio, but now I'm looking at the latest breakdown here, and I'm not anymore. And these changes have got some people upset, and not everybody is embracing them.
That's true. Actually, it all began in Minnesota 2 years ago from the Professor Park Kenkel thing. He said about the 13th zodiac sign of Ophiuchus. And after that, people have changed their zodiac sign. Not only after that.
No, hold on a moment here. Ophiuchus, is that correct?
It's correct, Ophiuchus.
And why do we all of a sudden go from what were 12 zodiac signs to now 13? What happened? What did he spy, or what changed?
It was always 13 zodiac signs. Nothing has changed. Only the Western astrologers had always told us that they were 12. But they didn't know about it because astrologers don't know about physics, don't know about science. I'm a physicist, and I made my dissertation in astronomy, so I discovered what all scientists knew, that the path of the sun on the sky is through, the annual path is through 13 zodiac constellations. So I made a theory, an astrological theory, to explain how astrology is going to work with the 13 zodiac signs. So I made a theory to express the truth to the people, to say the truth. So according to this theory, you are probably Libra. It depends on the date of your birth.
Exactly right. But now here's the problem, Vasilis. Talking with Vasilis Kanatis, who has written a book called Astrology of the 13 Signs of the Zodiac. And some people are kind of ticked about this because I kind of liked my Scorpio self. You know, I mean, from the description, the basic traits, and I know none of these are hard and fast traits, but they're sort of guidelines. And I thought that was pretty much right on. But now the Libra traits are somewhat different. Is this why there's sort of a pushback from so many who follow astrology in the Western world that they don't want to pick up on this?
Listen, it is actually, the zodiac sign is actually a scientific fact. It's a scientific data of the person. I mean, you cannot choose your zodiac sign. It depends on the date that you were born. So if you were born when the sun was in Libra, you are a Libra, no matter what you say about it. Of course, for sentimental reasons, you may say that you are a Scorpio, but you are a Libra. That's what science tells us. And this is, at this point, my theory says that it's time that astrology will adapt to reality. Astrology will say the truth to the people, a new theory of astrology, like astrology of the 13 signs of the zodiac, so that everybody knows that astrology can stay together with astronomy. They are not opponents. They must cooperate, because now Western astrology is an opponent to astronomy. It's saying different things and wrong things because they don't know what the truth is.
But now, how long have we been following? I mean, for how many generations, centuries, have we been following the 12 signs of the zodiac in the Western world? And so you have to expect this is going to take some time to sort of adjust and get on the other side of this notion, correct?
Correct. It is actually, it was always, Ophiuchus was always from the sky, and the ancient Greeks that invented horoscopic astrology that Western astrologers are following now, they were always talking about Ophiuchus. But 2,000 years ago, when Claudius Ptolemy made his theory, it was the path of the sun on the sky was not passing through Ophiuchus. That happened slowly because of the slight movement of the Earth called precession of the equinoxes. And now the path of the sky is through 13 zodiac constellations. So that's the reason why we have to adapt to reality. That's the reason why all the people, most of the people, 90% of the people are changing the zodiac sign.
Because I tell you, I hate to minimize this because I picked up the newspaper today in our own Star Tribune here in the Twin Cities, and as you say, this was where part of this notion was first originated, in Minnesota just a couple of years ago. But when I picked up the newspaper today, they're still sticking with the old-fashioned 12 signs, and it apparently they're missing something in there.
You know why? Because all this time, the 2 years, there was not a theory of 13 zodiacs so that people can follow. Now, with my book, everybody has a new theory on the hands, so everybody can read how the system of astrology is going to work with 13 zodiac constellations. And there are many changes because everything has to be adapted to reality. For example, the new ascendant is not the constellation, the ascending constellation, but it's the place of the moon on the sky at the time of birth. So there are many changes. Also, another very important change that the sunspots are very, very important for the life of a person. So the sunspot number at the time he was born and the actual sunspot number of everyday life, because the sun is affecting our lives mostly.
So you had to kind of sort of, I'm trying to figure out how you go about this, to figure out then the traits of those born under Ophiuchus. Do you kind of borrow from the Scorpio and the Capricorn and sort of, or the Sagittarius and sort of intertwine them then?
Exactly. Actually, the traits are given in astrological terms. They are given from the science of statistics. They are not given by chance. So during the years, the people are seeing what is happening when the sun is at a certain point of the sky, at a constellation, a zodiacal constellation, and they are combining the facts with the traits. So Ophiuchus has taken some traits of Scorpio and some traits of Sagittarius. But those born under the sign of Ophiuchus tend to doubt everything. They have their own ideological approach.
Well, that's going to make it difficult to sell your book then. If you for at least the Ophiuchuses aren't going to want to buy it because they're doubting people.
Actually, I don't care. What is important for me, because I'm a physicist, is to have a new astrology that can stay together with astronomy, that they don't conflict together, that you understand?
Yes.
They can work together.
They can work together, yes. Can this question now, as a physicist and an actual scientist, and yet someone who understands the astrology and now the 13 signs of the book, of the Zodiac, as published in your book, do you do things or adjust your life on a day-to-day basis according to what your horoscope may say in terms of, astrological guidance?
Of course. Not every day, but every week I make weekly horoscopes of the 13 zodiac signs, and I publish them on my webpage at astrology13.com, and I make these horoscopes from the places of the planets on the 13 zodiac constellations. For example, today, now, Mars is in Ophiuchus and in opposition with Jupiter. This has the meaning of maybe of balance in family life, and to some people, maybe to the Ophiuchians, it has the meaning of being more, how do you say, make attacks against their colleagues and etc.
Okay.
So it's
wow. Especially if you're getting into it here in the workplace. So, well, this is good stuff. I want to tell people, astrology13.com, we'll put that link up. But if people want to get more of this, astrology of the 13 signs of the Zodiac, And Vasilis Kanatis, thank you so much for giving me a little insight here. And I'm glad to know that I'm not that far off from where I once was. Have a great day, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
We'll talk
Nice
soon.
talking to you.
Bye-bye. It's 1050 News Radio 830 WCCO.
News Radio 830.